When we lose someone we love, our first instinct is to build a fortress around a single, specific memory. We take a face, a smile, a precise moment in time, and we try to lock it into place so it can never change. But there is a tension in that act. We use a name, Harin, as if it points to a solid, finished thing. We assume that because the name stayed the same, the person it belonged to was a fixed identity. If we look at the physical reality, the person at birth and the person at the moment of death share almost nothing. Every cell has turned over, every feature has warped. We are left asking which of those bodies was the person we actually knew. We find ourselves grieving an entity that we have defined by its stillness, even though the life itself was a state of constant motion. We are holding on to a single frame and calling it the whole movie. We can track this movement through the phases. At day 1, a newborn is a fragile collection of reflexes. Their physical features are soft and undefined, their existence entirely dependent on others. Within 3 years, that form has vanished. In its place is a toddler driven by chaotic motion and explosive physical growth. The infant is gone. A new set of behaviors and features has taken its place. Later, the toddler is replaced by a child running through a field. They develop autonomy and a specific way of interacting with the world that didn't exist just a few years prior. Eventually, we see the body in a clinical setting. The autonomy fades, the systems slow down, and the physical form reaches a final, total stillness. These stages are drastically different, representing a cycle of physical decay and regeneration. Yet, when we look at a photograph, we try to convince ourselves that the person is captured there, in that one unchanging expression. Logically, there is no way to select just one of these phases, the infant, the child, or the patient, and claim it is the only true version of that person. Because a life is a continuous series of transitions, it is impossible to isolate a single, fixed physical identity. Every moment was just a bridge to the next one. To see how this works, we can look at the physical mechanics of a lake at night. When the water is still, the moon appears on the surface. It looks solid. It has distinct edges and a brightness that makes it feel like a tangible object you could reach out and touch. But when a gust of wind hits the water, the surface ripples and the moon shatters. The light scatters into 1,000 pieces. We know instinctively that the moon itself wasn't damaged. Only the conditions that allowed us to see it have changed. As soon as the wind dies down, the shape restores itself. Its existence is entirely conditional on the stillness of the water. This same shape can appear in a massive lake, a small bowl of water, or the lens of an eye. All of them show the same form at the exact same time. The light creates a clear, observable shape in each of these vessels. You can see the edges in the cup and the rectangle, but that shape has no independent substance of its own. It is a projection created by the meeting of the light and the container. If you remove the water or break the path of the light, the form vanishes instantly. While the containers can show the object, none of them can claim to own it or keep it. Human existence follows this same pattern. We have an undeniable form that people can see and love, but that form lacks a fixed, unchangeable core that stays the same forever. Applying this to a loss means realizing that the person didn't have a fixed substance. This doesn't suggest their life was a lie or that the love you felt was hollow. The pain of grief comes from the attempt to demand permanence from something that is, by nature, impermanent. We are trying to hold the reflection still while the water continues to move. Our minds attempt to freeze a reality that is constantly flowing. This creates a deep psychological friction between what we want, stasis, and what the world provides, change. Emotional collapse happens when we realize we have been using our love to try and stop time, rather than using it to experience the person as they actually were, a being in flux. The suffering we feel is the heat generated by that friction, the law of constant change grinding against our desire for things to remain exactly as they are. If you see the moon in the water and reach down to take it, your hand only finds the cold lake. The image warps and disintegrates the moment you touch it. By trying to grab the moon, you lose the reflection. When the illusion of a fixed form breaks, we are left with a difficult question. If the person was never a single static thing, what was it that we were actually loving? There is no simple answer to this. It is a paradox that can't be resolved with words. It has to be sat with and felt in the silence that follows the loss. The reality of nature is that the essence of a person is like the light on the water. It can be seen and experienced, but it can never be trapped by a memory or a photograph. And yet we still see the image of a person sitting alone in the dark, gripping a physical photograph, refusing to let the moment pass. True mourning only begins when we stop trying to catch the reflection. It starts when we open our hands and allow the current of existence to flow, accepting that the beauty was always in the movement, not the stillness.